Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind season 5 episode 10. If I sound a little bit delirious through this video, it's because it's damn near 3 o'clock in the morning. If I sound a little bit confused, it's probably because I am. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. We start off with Izzy and Stacy's wedding. Stacy, while she's getting her makeup done, and y'all are so rough on this girl and her damn makeup. What if she wants to look like Lunette? Leave her alone, okay? While she's getting her makeup done, she talks about Izzy being exotic and a hunk of meat. Okay. Then we see Izzy pulling up in a red Porsche. Like, it's not like these things are like bad to do or say, but when you put it in the context of this relationship, it's like, okay. So the credit card conversation was apparently the night right before the wedding, and the residual effects of the conversation are permeating into the wedding preparation.
I mean, he just got his passport. His favorite restaurant, I think, is Chipotle. I'm like,
I didn't think that my credit score was gonna be that big of a deal. Love has no credit score. Love has no price tag.
it's not about the credit card. It's about being totally transparent. He's like, you're all about money. And I'm like, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about honesty.
Izzy says, love has no credit score, price tag, or timeline. To moi, that sounds like bankruptcy, foreclosure, and a 20-year engagement. Sir, no, 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 no. Like, don't get me wrong. Should love be contingent solely on those things? Absolutely not. But love should at the very least consider those things. And on top of that, be honest about those things. How about that, Izzy? How about that? Izzy says that he struggles to... Well, he is struggling to write vows. However, he has gotten into the habit of writing notes per Stacy's request. And so one of the friends is like, well, how about you write a letter for Stacy?
I got mad at him, and then he wrote me a note, and this is the only one that he has sent me unsolicited. Want to glue my hands on your boobs like a pasty. You never get complacy. You're so hot, turn on the AC.
With you, I love the chasey. Why am I wanting to marry you? Because I'm madly in love with you, Stacy.
I never criticize him to break him down. I'm trying to break down the codes of what love is to me.
Now, at first I was like, well, if you're putting down your feelings, couldn't you just read these out as the vows? And then I heard the letter and I said, oh no, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. It's okay. You can keep that. You can keep that. So Stacy's really excited that she got this letter because she keeps asking this man for all these romantic love notes. And this is the only one that hasn't been forced. Come hell or high water, this woman is going to make Izzy the romantic that she has envisioned in her mind. To me, I mean, I get it. Some people just naturally aren't romantic, but the way she's trying to like beat romance into him, is it worth it? I don't know. Stacy has been going back and forth on whether or not she's going to say yes at the altar. So we're going to fast forward to the altar. And she says yes. At least that's what I wrote down in my notes, because I saw her get emotional and was really like, oh, I love you. And I was thinking, okay, she's going to say yes. She said no.
You made me think with my heart. You made me feel again. There's no one else in this world that I would do it with other than you. I love you more than I can even explain, but I would be doing you and I a disservice right now to say that I do.
I understand. And I love you.
Honey, Stacy gagged me. Stacy gagged me. The way I was sitting in my little corner and I was like, no. Not because I think that they should be married, but that was quite the fake out, wasn't it? Quite the fake out. And then them kissing after saying no at the altar to me was absolutely wild. But what's even wilder is that nary a tear was shed from either side. Not Izzy's side, not Stacy's side, To me, it felt as if everybody was kind of okay with the outcome. And that's further confirmed when the parents tried to console the couple individually.
I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be telling you all this kind of stuff. I'd rather you hurt right now than later in the future.
I mean, I feel fine.
I think he's very sincere. Do you have any regrets?
No.
Listen, all I know is when SK's mama saw that Raven was not going to be her daughter-in-law, I know come hell or high water, she would have found a way to marry Raven herself. She would have found a way to marry Raven herself, the way the woman was so distraught. Okay? Yeah, gone are those days. Even last year, I feel like Micah's family had a better response to the engagement not working out. But this season, they're like, well, you're going to cry about it for like 2 minutes and then we're going to be okay, right? And then even Stacy wasn't even sad at all. She's like, I'm actually kind of relieved. Relieved. So then Netflix is so sick. They start to play this song and it's like, forget I was born, forget I ever existed, forget every kiss. And I'm like, wow, this is a little bit extreme. But then I'm like, well, maybe it's not, because Izzy's kind of giving off this energy.
I just feel relieved, like the pressure's gone. I'm still standing here with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're like at different spots. I blocked out everything. Looks, money, drama. I'm 29 years old and I can give you everything that a fucking rich man that you always go for and always fell with can't give you. It makes me wonder, why are you 33 and single and not married?
There's a couple things going on with this man. Basically, he feels like since love doesn't have a timeline, if I'm the one a year from now, I should be the one today. I mean, I don't know. I used to say something like that as well, but because you've only known each other for a month, give or take, I can't say that I fully agree with that. Not to say people who have gotten married within a month haven't been successful. Some have. Happy for you. But there are some things that we do need to iron out. Yeah. He also then says he was watching the Titanic and he wants a love, that unconditional love. Honey, if the Titanic was unconditional love, Rose could have moved over.
I'll never get over that scene. She over there looking at him while he freezing. And I'm like, girl, you ain't think to take turns?
She could have moved over. Okay? Even that love was not unconditional. How could I even forget? Mr. Emotional Intelligence, of course, had to throw in that little jab at the end at Stacy, basically saying he obviously has a chip on his shoulder that he is not good enough for Stacy. And so he's like, well, you can go and find any other man up there. He's not going to be as loving and caring as me. Izzy, that's something you've got to unpack. Like, that did not come with Stacy. That's an issue that you have all on your own. On to Lydia and Milton's wedding. The argument they had at their last date is still playing on their minds.
He was like, oh, I just didn't like how you handled that situation. Like, you were too emotional or something. He believes that I had to learn a little bit from his side, and I was like, you need to learn a little bit about being emotional.
Like, since she is so openly emotional, like, sometimes it's hard for her to be reserved. The sensation in my stomach is, I don't know, just like an uneasy feeling. Like, I mean, I don't think 100% exists in anything in the world. You can probably be 99.9%. I
felt like Milton was starting to spiral just a little bit. And then he even said that he's feeling uneasy in his stomach and his body. And I'm thinking to myself, this is another situation where we're seeing Milton convince himself, talk himself into this relationship. And to me, it's a little bit alarming. On the other hand, you have Lydia, who's like, oh, I don't feel nervous at all. This is so great. Like, it's a happy days. She feels as if she has endured the same things as a married couple would endure in their first 2 years in this experiment. No, I've never been married, let alone for 2 years. But I highly doubt in this controlled, expedited experience, you have experienced the same thing in people who've been married for 2 years. And even then, like Papa said, Papa James, Big James, whatever, he was like, the first 2 years are still a part of the honeymoon phase. Like, don't think that everything's going to be like those first few years of being together. So anyways, Papa's having a conversation with Milton Lil James, and he's just trying to make sure that Milton is making the right decision.
Any questions before you step into the rest of your life?
Do I have any questions?
Yeah.
About what?
Now, I know you've seen more than enough fights from me and your mom.
Yeah, but that's y'all's relationship. That's independent of mine. We have pretty good communication.
Just make sure that you're still communicating, you're not taking each other for granted. That's what I'm saying.
I had a little screw face when Milton said, oh, our communication is great. It is. Okay. I then made a screw face when Milton's dad was talking about the arguments that he's had in his marriage. And Milton was like, well, that's your marriage. It has nothing to do with mine. And I'm like, yeah, but he's just trying to prepare you for what potentially could be in the future, and to say that, listen, even in our marriage, as long as it has been, we still go through our ups and downs, and you still have to fight for it every single day. Like with Milton, I understand him having so much faith in his relationship, but there's a lot of sugarcoating, and there's a lot of deflecting, and there's a lot of pushing things under the rug with them. Anyways, let's fast forward to the ceremony. I think the vows were cute. Well, I think Milton's vows were cute. Lydia's vows felt to me like anybody in the pods who would have given her affection would have been the one for her.
I fell in love with you because you chose me and you made sure that I knew I was your first. You understood who I was.
You challenged me in my thinking. You always inspired me to be more. I never had a doubt about you, and I hope it continues to be like that forever.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, wish them well, I guess. Of all the couples, we got to witness make it to the altar, I would say that Milton and Lydia make the most sense. However, I've been hearing some tea from the streets about Milton and Lydia, okay? We already knew they were going to get married if you've been in the spoiler chats and all that stuff. But about these two, that would make me believe Milton is not too dissimilar from Lydia. Yeah. I wonder when we're going to get the tea on that one. I also heard that their marriage license wasn't submitted right away, and it actually took several weeks for them to go and submit it. I also want to know what the tea on that is. But anyways, at the end of the episode, we have everybody sharing on whether or not they believe that love is blind. And of course, they're going to say yes because they're supposed to. And I could have sworn Izzy believed, maybe not anymore, believed that he was going to be the gem of the season. Sweetie, you are not.
I definitely feel love is blind. I'm just really sad because I gave everything I had to give. I deserve the effort that I put in to be reciprocated.
My inability to open up has definitely pushed women away.
Part of me regrets not going through with it, but a lot of my heart says I did the right thing.
I do regret not creating that environment where she felt safe. That is something that I'm going to work on.
Love is a mindset, it's a lifestyle, and it's a daily choice.
I could have gone the rest of my life not seeing JP again, or Uche, honestly. And apparently we won't see him because Uche, the streets are saying he didn't show up to the reunion. Now, is this the same as, what's her name now? Jackie, where she didn't show up, but they had a video call, or like he's just not going to be present at all? And is this a safety concern? Because, you know, Lydia. Or is this because you don't want to face your actions? What's the reason? What is the reason? Anyways, there's some things that I'd like to know. I'd like to know what JP was on about. I'd like to know what actually transpired between Aaliyah and Uche when they decided to move forward as a couple, which is blowing my mind. I need to get down to the bottom of this. Did Lydia follow Uche to the reunion thing? I guess since Uche's not going to be there, we're not really going to get the tea on that. But yeah, I saw her do an interview with Tadoom. Maybe I'll do a review on that. I haven't read the article because it was long, but if it's worth talking about, I'm going to talk about it. I also want to know what Taylor feels about with the whole makeup thing, because if y'all have seen JP's Instagram, it looks like he's a fan of eyeliner. Anyways, as always, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.